All right. Thank you. Hey, we made it. I am so glad that all of y'all are here and that you made space this in your day. And I mean, that's a big deal on a Saturday, and I appreciate that. And this hour is going to be awesome. It's going to be a break from that demand heavy, judgment heavy world. There's no grade, even though I'm a retired principal. There's no grade, no deadline, and you absolutely can't fall behind. I want you to think of this as a safe landing space for your creative self, a place where you can breathe and let go of all that invisible pressures that follow us around. Therefore, the name Create Without Pressure. And in here, there's no way your art should look like, how much you make, or how long you've been away. We're here to let go of we're here for the act of creating in itself, just for ourselves, just to be enough. So thank you. So in the chat, if y'all would just give me one word that you would like to feel by the end of this time together. Would you like to feel peaceful, free? You picked a word. But if you put in one word in the chat of how you would like to feel by the end of this. Inspired, thankful, serene, light. Thank you. Well, so there is space for all of that, and we're going to make space for that. I want to let you know that this is not a competition. There is no best or right way to do this. It's not a productivity challenge, and we're not here to crank out the most art in the least amount of time. It's not about getting it perfect. You can't fail at this. You've already succeeded because you're here. And it's just not a place for judgment. No one here is grading your work or measuring your worth by what's on the page. It's not a magic fix either. Resistance is the main thing that stops us from creating without pressure. And I cannot promise that resistance will vanish forever, but I can promise that you're going to have some amazing tools to meet with it gently when it does pop up. And it's also not a technique class. We're not focused on learning formal skills or perfecting methods. This is about process. This is about presence and play. My intention for you in this workshop is to create a gentler, more sustainable relationship with your art. One that feels safe, freeing, and just possible no matter what life looks like right now, because we've all lived long enough to know that life gets lifey. We're going to work on our mindset, or your mindset and perception, as much as your art. And I'm sure that you know this because when your brain shifts, when you release perfectionism, comparison, and that all or nothing black and white thinking, your creative practice changes. And when your creative practice changes, so does what you make. You're going to create with more ease, more joy, and more self-trust. And the work itself will carry that energy. My intention is that you not just leave with ideas, but with some practices that you can return to again and again and again. Tools to help you step back into creativity without pressure or apology. I am someone who, like many, for different reasons and different points in my life, just stopped making art. And yet it was the most healing, most soulful. It's like I gave up breathing. And in my research, and this is just my opinion, the creative life is like a three-legged stool. The first leg is the art practice. And this is what kind of my niche, kind of my expertise, my passion, my interests. And this is an art practice is your steady rhythm of making. experimenting and showing up. This is the foundation. This is the base of it all. So I am fascinated by what blocks that in so many amazing artists. And that's what we're going to work on here. The second leg is taking instruction, taking classes, learning from others that expand your skills and spark ideas. But it works best when you already have a practice to apply what you are. And that can be, for many of us, the reason we don't finish courses or don't even start them is because the foundation for the art practice is missing. And then the third leg is doing a painting, creating something that's a project or a piece. And that definitely flows easily when you create muscles that are warm from a regular practice. When your practice is steady, classes and paintings just naturally fit in, and that stool becomes balanced. I did email out or sent a link for the worksheet or workbook that you can use. And if you can follow along in it with me, I'll also be sharing it as we go along. Let me share what it looks like right now. Okay, this is the workbook that I created for you. And if you don't have it right now, it's no big deal. It's meant to be, you can use it now, you can use it later. You can listen to the replay and fill it in. It's no big deal. I will be referencing it as we go along. That's a mead. And I love that dress. So here's what I was just talking about, that three-legged stool of the art practice, taking classes, doing a painting. And why does art routine matter is for most women. For most women, our art routine are anything or the opposite of gentle. We're past midlife, many of us, and we've been through decades of proving ourselves, keeping up, showing up for everyone else. You're like me, you've learned to measure your worth by what you produce at work, at home, and in relationships. And that's why a gentle art practice is so radical. It's not about performance or perfectionism. It's about relief from perfectionism. No pressure for it to be good enough or to sell or share or to hang in a gallery, especially to share. It's a gentle art practice is a safe place, free from critique, where you can experiment without anyone peeking over your shoulder. It's also sustainable energy. It's small, repeatable practices instead of being an exhausting burst. My favorite is a self-care ritual, filling your own well before giving to others. We fill ourselves up with this ritual. And it's permission to be present, letting the noise fade while you focus on something tangible and grounding. So I'm not talking about me. I want to hear from you in the chat. Can you tell me, when was the last time that art felt light or joyful for you? You can go ahead and just put that in the chat if you want to. A week ago. Don't remember. Every day. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Recently, while reading your emails. Well, thank you. Can't remember. Almost never. That's the problem. Thank you. It is the problem. Yesterday. Wonderful. I'm in a good place right now. So this morning, every day. Well, even if y'all can't remember or it was this morning, all of these tools will help you when that resistance does rear its head, because it will. Life will happen. Life will get lifey. There will be times where our well is empty, where we're running on dry. So these tools that I'm going to share with you will help you, whether you can't remember or in your practice this morning or every day. So let's talk about, I kind of hinted at it, but that there is a big elephant in the room. I think that I know in workshops or on blogs or with other artists, you don't hear much. Can I post the link to the workshop? I will at the end, Eileen, I promise. Um, let's talk about, and if somebody else has it for her, will you plop it in? Maybe Susan, or if somebody else, it was in the email, we put it in there for her. Otherwise, I'll get it to you at the end for sure. There's an elephant in the room, and it's called resistance. If you've ever wanted to make art and didn't, you're not lazy, you're not broken. It's called being human. Resistance is our brain just trying to protect us from discomfort or failure by steering us towards something that might seem safer. It often sounds, this is how resistance talks. I'll start when things calm down. I need the perfect supplies first. I should wait till I feel inspired. Or my personal favorite, suddenly deciding the junk drawer in the kitchen needs reorganizing now. For me, it looked like walking past my art table for months after surgery. Every time I walk by it, I'd get this pain that I had abandoned something important. And then I keep telling myself, tomorrow, when I have more energy, when I feel better, when I know how to paint, when I have my technique down, when I'm like so-and-so. But tomorrow never came, and the longer I stayed away, the heavier the return felt. So resistance to making our art thrives in that space between wanting to do it and actually starting. And my goal, our goal today, what I want to bring to the world is how to shrink that gap when it happens, because it will happen to every artist. It will happen when there's a time where you want and you're not able to start, whether it is your art practice, whether it is that course online, whether it is creating commission piece, whether it is painting something or going back from a workshop and finishing that painting. If you're a human being, that will happen. It's normal. It's happened to me, and it has and will happen to every artist I know. So let's talk about, great. So let's talk about what the solution is. I'm going to pull up. Here we go. Pull up something for you to look at because I am curious to hear what you think about this. I'm going to share. Here we go. I want you to look. I've actually created a creative resistance decoder because in order to face our enemy, resistance, we have to have all the data, all the information we can about it. So we each have a different flavor of resistance. And if you know the flavor, you can work with it instead of it letting run the show and run your life. So we're going to do this worksheet together. But first, I want you to take a few minutes, and this should be up on your screen. If it's not, let me know in the chat. But there are things, the big 5 that are cause resistance are perfectionism, overthinking, fear of wasting time or supplies, comparison, and time scarcity. Would you just take a few minutes and look at these 5 and pick your top 1 or 2 before we begin the decoder? And you can share it or not share it. And also it helps to know which ones you're not. Maybe you're not somebody who is afraid of wasting supplies. Maybe it's not comparison, overthinking, perfectionism, overthinking and comparison with others. Wonderful. For me, it is perfectionism. If I can't do it perfectly, I don't want to do it. Because somewhere along the line, from my family or in my life, I learned that if I do things perfectly, nobody dies, nothing bad happens. And as y'all know, perfectionism is impossible to achieve. All it is a form of resistance. All right, so now let's get into the. I'm going to share with y'all the decoder. All right, it's in your workbook. And for those of you who don't have a workbook, it's no big deal. I'm gonna read them. We're gonna go over it together, and it'll also be on your screen. And you also will have this forever and ever and ever to take it when resistance rears its head. Here it is. I have created for y'all, and I'm very proud of this, the Creative Resistance Decoder. It's on page 5 in your work, and it's the quickest way to uncover what's really blocking your art practice. Remember, I am of the personal belief and experience that the art practice is the foundation of everything. Without a firm base of an art practice, taking classes and courses and learning new technique and creating those bigger projects is very, very difficult, if not important. So that's why we start here. So let's name the resistance. See if any of these thoughts resonate with you. I'm too tired. I won't like what I make. I'll start once I'm ready. I don't know what to make. I'm behind on everything else. I don't have enough time. It feels indulgent. If any of those thoughts are there, that's resistance being a sneaky little critter. It doesn't come out and say, I'm resistant, and we're not going to practice today. It will be sneaky, and it will talk like this. So take a few moments, and you can share if any of any of those thoughts are yours, if that's how resistance shows up, or maybe it shows up in a different way. It feels indulgent. There's always something I should be doing. Thank you. Feels less important than other things on my plate. Yes. Behind on everything else and indulgent. Thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability. For me, I'm too tired. Besides, I won't like what I make. This was a year of having health be kind of wifey, but I'm doing great today. I've been tired. But since when? I mean, nobody died from being tired. Since when does being tired stop us from doing anything? When I was tired, I worked, I made dinner, I cleaned the kitchen, I took care of the kids, I took care of myself. So when does being tired stop me from doing anything? Well, it made no sense to, we can certainly do an art practice even when we're tired. Maybe it's not for an hour, but later on, you're going to find out maybe it's for 5 minutes or one. I have some tricks. So now in the resistance, identify the voice that's behind it. Is it your inner critic? Is it social media comparison? Is it, I'm not sure, it just feels heavy? Is it a teacher, a parent, or a friend from the past? Or is it an imagined audience or judge? Who's the voice behind that thought? Thank you, Susan. And you can share it. Imagined audience. Someone from the past, mother. Thank you. Inner critic, imagined audience, mother, clean your room first. Oh, I'm sorry, Natalie. I was a mom that said that. So I don't mean to laugh or minimize that. But yeah, our moms, they mean well, but some of those things kept us from doing what fills our soul. Years of being taught, do the work first, then mom. The voice is very much social imagination. Thank you, Susan. For me, it's my inner critic. I have my default is judgy. And without the work, without the practices that I do, that inner critic can run my life. So that for me, is for me. And this might be kind of hard, but you have this worksheet for later. The next step is spot the pattern. When was the last time that you felt this resistance in another part of your life? What happened then? Did you push through, walk away, or find a workaround? And you spot a pattern. You're kind of on the spot, but for me, I walk away. I push through everything else but my art. I'm like a steamroller that gets up in the morning steamroller. You know, those machines that I don't even know if they still have them. They big wheels and they flatten the street, the pavement. I think they do. I would get up in the morning and I put my key in that steamroller, no matter how tired, how empty, how sick I felt, and I just steamroll through everyone in life except art. Procrastination, do something else, shut down and get depressed. Make a mental priority list, can't skip anything, push through and work around. Those are great. I am going to, just work around. When I say work around it, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks so that you can get to your art. Now, can you choose? And everyone's different. I'm going to share some ideas, practices that really work. But can you choose what's the absolute smallest, lowest pressure action you could take to re-engage with your art? The smallest, lowest pressure is going to be different for each and every one of us. Make color swatches, tidying the space. Doodle on a grocery shopping list. Oh my gosh, yeah. Make one mark. Draw scribbles when having coffee. Spend 10 minutes playing with watercolors. Less than 1 minute for a contour drawing. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to steal some of these tiny actions. So thank you. So now we're going to combine your answers kind of into a permission slip. Permission slip. This is where the principal in me comes out. I love to write permission slips in a positive way. Even though I feel tired and unsure what to make, I'm opening my sketchbook for 5 minutes. This counts. Even though I feel, and this is mine, even though I feel too tired and unsure what to make, I'm just opening my sketchbook for 5 minutes. This counts. This is enough. Can you create your start now statement? And if you need help at the end, I'm going to stay on and help anyone that would like help with their permission slip start again statement. And this is no pressure, so no pressure. No pressure to share. If you're perfectionistic pro like I am, you might find that these tiny timed prompts help because they don't give your inner critic that time to rev up. It's like I work faster than my inner critic can come online. So I do little tiny timed prompts. Is comparison is your gremlin? Private, process only work might be your safe space. If time scarcity gets you, 5 minutes really can be your magic number. So those are just some solution for those of us that have perfectionism, comparison, and time scarcity. One of my favorite gentle art, no pressure things to do is have one color, one brush. And it's about doing something small, simple, mostly important. Here's the caveat, unjudged. And my friend Kathleen will probably say that 1,000 times, don't I, Kathleen? Has to be unjudged. Shame shawl on the floor or give it to Goodwill. You choose one color, one brush. You dip your brush into the water, pick your color, and just make marks. Curve, lines, line, whatever comes. And you're so present and going, though, not slow, the word is present. You hear the sound of the water in the jar as you swish your brush. You see the way that color looms on the paper before you pick up your brush and go to the next mark. You feel the weight of the brush in your hand. And if you don't like a mark, let it stay. This isn't about fixing. This isn't art practice. It's about showing up. Or my next favorite, if I'm into acrylic, is I journal a lot and write a lot. So some of you have found me from Substack as a writer, and some of you know me as an artist and a coach. I love to journal my resentments, my unhappiness, my feelings, gossip, all the dark things that I used to judge and push down. Instead, I vomit them up on my journal page. And then I take acrylics and I do a beautiful abstract over them. Or not so beautiful abstract, but I paint over the journal page where I wrote about all of those things, which are just fuel or food for my resistance. So now, one of my favorite art practices right now, if you, as you stay with me and we grow together, you will see me create and transform right along with you. And I will always share my tools that are helping me. And right now, it's the 5-minute Art Jumpstart Deck. Some of you are familiar with it because I've shared it in Substack. Because the hardest part of making art is just starting. Really, the hardest part of anything is just starting. When I was 58, I ran the LA Marathon, my one and only. I'll never do it again, but I did one. And as a runner, which I love because it's very sensory, the feeling of the air, the heartbeat of your feet hitting the earth. But the hardest part of running, even though it was magical, was putting my shoes on and tying them. That was the hardest part because that was the start. It's the same way with an art practice. The hardest part is the start. So that's why I created the 5-minute Art Jumpstart Deck. It's got 10 printable prompts, so small and so low pressure, you just can't talk yourself out of it. I mean, I couldn't really talk myself out of putting on shoes and tying them. But once I did, I'm out the door. So how you use these is you're going to print the cards, you're going to cut them up and tuck them into your journal. And you can pair it with a small portable kit, pen, pencil, glue stick, artist tape, travel, watercolor palette, acrylic markers. And you can keep it in your basket or pouch for easy grab and go. That's another one of my tricks. I keep it, and I'm going to show you mine in just a bit. You keep it in a basket or a pouch for easy grab and go, whether your appointments, quiet TV time. waiting for dinner to cook, whatever it is that's going on. And this is how I keep my kit. I put it in a cute little French basket, but it could be a pouch. And what I had in there is, I have in the workbook from today. I also have this journal, and what I've done is I've cut up the 5-minute art journaling prompts, and I take them to the page already ready to go. So there's no resistance. There's no looking for the art prompts. And so my inner critic can't get after me for that. So I have them pasted in all 10, and I'm going to keep going with these. So there may be, before it's all said and done, 100. But right now I have 10. And so I paste them in my journal, and it's ready to go. And the next one for me is One Surface, One Song. So there's my journal. I have a larger, actually my largest watercolor kit. Not a travel one, but it's the one I keep in my studio. So at home, this is the one I would snag. My favorite, oh my God, is the Charbon. When I was in Provence, I bought Charbon watercolors, who are known for their acrylics. Who knew they made watercolors? They are delicious. I could actually just eat these. They're so beautiful and so good. And then I have a pencil box with all my pencils in it. I use a watercolor brush that has the water already in it, so I don't even have to get a cup of water. I have watercolor pencils. I had just a little pad of watercolor paper in case I don't want to work in the journal, 5-minute prompt, or maybe a 5-minute prompt just gets the juices going, and I feel like doing a little baby watercolor. I have that here. I'm really into acrylic markers right now. And so I have some acrylic markers. Of course, I have my readers. I have a little time stamp or a date stamp, so I can stamp the date. I have a smaller journal that's really more travel, but I can't remember the name of it, what it's called when it does this. It's from travel. Sometimes I want to go back and work on a travel watercolor. And then I have this little sketchbook if I feel like looking at some thumbnails for inspiration. Oh, thank you. It's a concertina book. Thank you. So that's what I have in my basket, ready to go. I don't have to even gather supplies. So that makes it a lot easier to just get started, because I can take it with me. Oh, in here, and the paper clip to clip the book open, the watercolor book open. So just having it here, I can, if mine's watching football or something I'm not really interested, I can still be there with him and present. And so this just travels with me from the couch to the studio to the car to outside, wherever. Everything's all ready to go. It's my portable little art practice kit. So I think I'm going to show you some examples of what it looks like in your notebook, and I will also email you another copy of it. It's just a download. Okay, here's the directions on how to use the deck, and this is what the deck looks like. They're 5-minute Art Jumpstart cards. I always thought about naming them 1 minute, and I'm curious as to what you think, those of you that use them. It seems like it only takes 1 minute. I don't want people to feel pressured to fill 5 minutes. So I'm still on the fence about having a Just, I guess 5 minutes doesn't feel like pressure to me. It could for someone else. Maybe 1 minute doesn't feel like pressure. So these what the cards look like. One surface, one song, lines for the feelings, draw what you miss, one word, one page. So these are repeat or shape. You don't. 1 minute sounds great. Thank you, Sherry. Maybe I think I might change it to 1 minute Art Jumpstart. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You just cut them up and use them any way you want. I think Susan laminated hers. And I like them taped in my journal, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. All right, so now we've learned what the resistance is for each one of us. We've learned the solution as far as a mindset about reframing our perception or our thoughts about an art practice. And I've shared with you some gentle routines that I've used. There are many, many more, and call them minute art jumps. Minute. Oh, thank you. Guys are great. I'm going to be sure and download. And Susan, the reason will coach on that. The reason you may not be starting is it could be what you're telling yourself. Could be. Could be. All right. So now you've got these gentle routines. So to keep it going, we anchor it to something you do already. I do my art practice after coffee. You keep your kit visible. You can use the deck. What I like about the deck is you skip decision fatigue. What do I do? What do I do for my art practice? Where do I start? Do I do a class? They're not really, the secret to them is they skip the decision fatigue. And if you miss a day, oh, well, just come back without apology. This is the truth. You cannot fall behind in your own creative life. You just can't. So you can either write this or think about it and share it and put it in the chat, but I want you to reflect on something. If my art table or my portable basket were a safe landing place, what would it look, feel, and sound like? And I'm going to take some sharing on this one, but I want you to write or think about it. And when you feel like sharing, raise your hand or unmute. Quiet, undisturbed moments. Beautiful. Nothing new and crispy. The supplies should be used and unintimidating. Nothing sacred. Yeah. Mary Ellen, would you like to share? Just unmute yourself. Can you join? Oh, there you go. Well,
Sorry. My art desk is a perpetual mess because it's always a work in progress. And I like it that way. Every time I clean it up, it doesn't last. And that's a good thing instead of always feeling like it has to be neat to get started. No, it is started. It's always started and ready to go.
That's awesome. Isn't that neat for you to know that? Because some of us would say, I need to have it organized first, or I need to clean it, the art table first. So that's wonderful that you know that about yourself. And thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And someone asked me, I'll repeat the question again. If my art table or my portable basket were a safe landing place, what would it look, feel, and sound like? Is there anyone else that would like to share? Peggy said, small, full of stuff. And Susan said it would urge me on. Thank you. I do the best. Thank you. This is all in your workbook too. Lots of music and yes, lots of music. And do you have a favorite Spotify or music that you like to listen to?
I actually set up a record player, so I have all my old albums, and I've been collecting albums, so it encourages me to come down to my art space so that I can listen to, albums because I can't do that anywhere else in the house, so if I wanna listen to albums, I'm come down and then I'd have all my art stuff down here, so it's great.
That is awesome. That is a great way to attach your art practice to something you already love and want to do.
Yeah, I had to entice myself to motivate myself to get down here. Because once I'm here, it's all good, but, just sometimes getting myself to walk down the steps is the hard part.
That is, it's so wonderful for you to see that, and it's so normal, so human. For me, when I was training for a marathon, what got me to put my shoes on was how much I love being outside, was how much I love nature. It was certainly not to get miles in or to train. It was to be in nature. So if we can attach our art practice as something we already love, there's a better chance it will happen. That's genius.
I can't take credit, I read it somewhere.
I'll take credit for it. Oh, let's just take credit for it. Shannon is saying, thanks for the repeat. My workspace would have things I love to look at that inspire me, but not too many. There would be space for new things, not not neat, not messy. At present, it's too messy, so an adjustment is required. Nancy listens to Celtic instrumental music. Eileen is colorful and organized. That's wonderful. Anyone else? We're beginning to come to our closing. Is there anyone else who would like to share what they do? Colorful and organized. Gentle routines without pressure free us from perfectionism. Resistance is normal. There's no getting around it. There's no surgery to remove it. But now you have ways to meet it. This 5-minute art deck, possibly to be renamed, is your bridge between wanting to make art and actually making art. Your art doesn't have to be another place where you measure yourself. It is your refuge. Start small, return often, let it be enough. Tomorrow, I will send you a replay, and we're not done, but your resistance decoder and the deck by mail as whether as a workbook. And I'd love to hear which prompt you try first. And now, if you'd like more from me, more live sessions, gentle coaching, and creative community, stick around for a quick note on how you can keep going with me. But before we do that, does anyone have any questions before I move into the 2 ways for us to stay connected? If so, just raise your hand or unmute yourself and shout it out. No questions. I did that good a job. Hey, share. No, how about some comments? I love comments too. All right.
I read the War of Art years ago about resistance. It terrified me, and it really made me mad, and so thank you for this gentle way to deal with it, because I don't know, but whatever his name, Pressman, I'm sure you know this book.
Yes, I do.
And it's kinda mean, and so, thank you. This is good.
Oh, you're welcome. I like gentle. I don't like war.
Yeah.
I like gentle. Thank you. Nancy. I hear you're still muted.
There. I'm glad you made this workbook because it made it easier to follow along with the Zoom. Because the first Zoom I was sitting there writing, and a lot of times on my tablet, I can do a screenshot really easy to catch everything, but I get tired of doing that part because I don't look at it again. But with something physical like this, I can go back and look at it again, and I can, like I'm keeping a lot of your posts or your emails in a notebook for myself to reread again. So I like the workbook.
Well, I'm flattered. I'm learning. I'm learning as a writer, and this type, what we've done here is is part of my Substack. Is part of my paid subscriber Substack. This month, I opened it up to everyone, my email list, just to try it out. But the workbook and the workshop and availability to other little goodie is what I offer the paid subscribers to Substack. And then as far as post, I'm still trying to make them more helpful or solution to problems, and not just so you have to read another newsletter. I'm learning as a writer, and it's a process. So if you are interested in becoming a paid Substack, I think it's $6 a month or $50 a year. I think it's real reasonable for these monthly workshops and workbooks. Thank you, Sue. And that means a lot. Oh my gosh, if that's all I ever do, that was enough. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. Well, I'm gonna keep writing, and I'm gonna keep doing, because I love it. I just love it. Now, this is like super, super cool, and you're the first to hear it. No one else knows about it. Starting August 18th, I'm going to be creating a new course that expands on everything that we've touched today. It's not a technique course. It's not it's not your traditional art workshop. It's going to be expand on like what we did today, and it's going to be a deeper step-by-step path to building a gentle, sustainable art practice that lasts. And it just sounds like something you love. I want you to join the wait list now by putting your best email in the chat. And I will also send emails out to this, because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for founding members that will get early access as I build it. You're going to help me shape the course with your input because your voice matters. And it will never, ever, 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 ever be offered at this low a price again. It's my way of thanking the first group who walked through it with me. And the price point, well, thank you, Nancy. The price point will be very reasonable. I think it's going to be $27 for the founding members. No, that's the final thing. It may be $19 for the founding members. So, not founding members of Substack. You would be considered a founding member of my first online course. So I hope that you will join me and be a part of shaping that. Thank you. Thank you. And we have about 9 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions or would like some coaching? Some really light coaching on any of the subject matters or something that you're struggling with or something you don't get or something that's heavy on your heart. I'm here to help. Yes, Natalie, you'll be able to join by email. I'll send you all as my daughter says, the deets, DEETS, the information. Well, if there are no questions or coaching, I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart for giving me the honor of sharing my journey, of sharing what it is that I'm learning, how to develop a gentle, consistent art practice without pressure. So we'll see you on Substack. We'll see you in email. I hope to see you as a founding member as I create this online course. Wendy Brightbill is going to be helping me. So I'm super excited about this new adventure. Thank you. Bye-bye.